against the wall. Doesn't matter, man. You got a home playoff game tonight. You damn well better win. We know that. You can't go down to 3-0. I don't know. We know this town has done them with 3-1. But hey, nonetheless, we got to get one tonight. And I think with the Guardians, there's an opportunity. Obviously, they start 0-0. But I got something about tonight's game as we take on those Yankees. You're back at home. I know I know the ticket prices have tanked. It's going to be cold. I think that helps the Guardians a little bit. You want to take the sting out of those Yankees bats. I know it's cold in New York too, but you're back home tonight. You got to rally, and I think you got to pull everything out that you got, including, I got a crazy idea, Pat McGuire. I got a loon idea for the Guardians tonight. Maybe we send that over to Stephen Vogt as an option for the Guardians tonight. We'll get to that coming up. Plenty of Browns to discuss. The fallout from the Amari Cooper trade. He drove there Monday night. Last night, I guess, from I keep forgetting today's Thursday. You know, they come out and he found out, got in the car, drove to Buffalo. He was out of here. But we'll hear from Kevin Stefanski. We'll hear from Deshaun Watson. Nick Chubb ready to go for this weekend. Excitement around him. And I do think there's a big part of Chubb coming back to this team, how it plays to the Amari Cooper trade. We'll get to all that coming up. Few things around the league, some agent takes on the Amari Cooper trade and what that might mean for the Browns moving forward. They got Cincinnati coming to town. We'll gear up for that. We got playoff baseball. We got Thursday night football. We'll get to our bets on that. We got the grid. We'll get to timeout. We got the morning update. We got it all on a playoff baseball day right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Pat McGuire joining us this morning. Pat, happy to have you alongside here. As always, you can follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube. Subscribe to our Instagram page and Twitch as well. On a day, Pat, I wake up and I understand how a lot of people are probably feeling about the Guardians, right? You think it's over. And trust me, I get it. The Yankees are really good. You got a chance today. You're putting Boyd out there. You're facing Clark Schmidt, who missed a good chunk of the middle of the season. He pitched one game against the Royals. You only saw him back in April. There are, and I get in trouble with this, because I look at batting like history versus those pitchers. Cost me last night.
Couple shekels.
Did Francisco Lindor go 0 for 4? What a smoke job that was last night. But anyway, I look at it, and there are some guys that have success against Clark Schmidt in his career. Now, that goes, again, back historically. I'll tell you this, dude. You want to know one of the best guys against him? Andres Gimenez. Can we freaking get Andres Gimenez? He's 500 against him in his career. 500. 5 for 10. Not a big sample size, but he's got a double, all right? You're facing Clark Schmidt. You got rid of Cole, okay? You got rid of Rodon. You didn't have to face him anymore. This is your win. This is very clearly your win. And, again, he had the one game, looked fine against the Royals, looked all right, on the way out in the regular season. But here's kind of my flip for Stephen Vogt, all right? And this is crazy, and I'm saying this a little in jest, Pat, but I'm also kind of being serious with it. Why don't you start Cade Smith in this game? Why do you not start Emmanuel Clase? And you might be saying, you got 3 days to go, 3 straight games. You might say, dude, screw that. If Stephen Vogt has gone to this extreme level, which I know the playoffs are different, but would you agree with me that Stephen Vogt has taken his bullpen thing to the extreme? And I understand, right? When Tanner Bybee is loading the bases, you got to try to keep that game afloat. Why? I'm being dead serious. And I already know that they already put Matthew Boyd as your starter. Why don't you do an opener tonight? You know that you it's over. You don't win tonight, it's over.
You have to send a message early, too.
Right, and get through that first 5-6 batters, whatever it might be. I really am a little surprised that they didn't go with an opener. Just to
I'll tell you what, too.
Shut it down for a minute to get to the third inning, right? If you go Cade Smith or Hunter Gaddis, and again, Clase might be a little much there, but you get through the first 2 innings, then turn it over to Matthew Boyd just to, give yourself a chance, give yourself a little opening to score some runs, get the crowd involved. My other fear for tonight, Pat, there's going to be so many Yankees fans here. Tickets have tanked. The ticket price has gone down, and I get it, right? You feel it the same way that I do. Backs against the wall. We're going to be invaded by freaking Yankees fans over the next couple of days, all right? It was just an idea that I had because you got to get I've been saying that about this series, and it's not come to fruition. You have got to get the first runs on the board. You have to do that. And the problem is how the Yankees are going. They change. You could play everything perfectly. You could do the right thing and steal this base here and move this runner here and bunt here and do all. Aaron Judge comes and go, yeah, that's cute. Smack. Just and erase everything that you're doing. But to just get those first runs, I thought to shut them down, Pat. I really thought a lot this morning about they should throw the curveball and do an opener. And I don't know, you already announced Boyd as your starter, but the pressure that's on him, and again, veteran guy, done it before for us, helped out, but it's like I hate to say it's going to be like a lot of these games, the first inning is going to tell a story for me.
I think so too. I mean, the thing about that bullpen is, bless their hearts, but if I have to see Pedro Avila and Eli Morgan again,
those guys are in there for mop-up, dude. You're right. I get it. I get it.
But that's kind of my point, right? It's
yeah,
like
no,
if we have to get to that point where I
understand.
see those guys again, please do not get it there. I want to have a game where I'm actually nervous. Because the first two games, I mean, I was nervous in the beginning.
Oh, we
but
all
once
are.
they scored, I was like, well, okay.
Here we go again. Yeah.
Our bullpen is so good, but our offense has been just such a struggle, you know?
Yeah.
Josh Naylor came alive a little bit yesterday.
I wore this for
or
them
the other
today.
game.
I wore them for both of them
we need
today.
it,
For the
dude. We
love
need
of
it.
God.
We need it.
You need the Naylor brothers in
Yep.
this. Come on. And that's been probably the biggest downfall through the first couple of games. You have not had consistency from your key middle-of-the-order guys. Who are our best hitters right now? Brian Rocchio and Steven Kwan. Okay, that's great. 9-1. Where's the middle of that lineup anymore? And I'll tell you this. I don't think Jose Ramirez is in a slump. I really don't. I watch his at-bats, and I go, dude, he's on it, okay? And that's a problem about baseball. You can be on it. You can be seeing these pitches so good, and you just roll over on one, or you pop one up or whatever. Now, Josh Naylor is in a slump, okay? Andres Jimenez is in a slump. Those guys are going up there going, I have no idea what the hell is going on right now. I probably think the biggest thing. Now, maybe, again, being back at home, here are your career stats for Clark Schmidt.
Oh, boy.
I don't know, he just sounds like a movie star from the 30s.
He sounds like a bully from an 80s movie.
That's Clark Schmidt. With the E at the end of Clark.
Yeah. The gratuitous E on the end of the name, I can't do it.
So, Will Brennan, 1 for 6.
Oof.
Stephen Kwan, 8 for 4. Jimenez, 5 for 10. Josh Naylor, 1 for 3. Jose, 4 for 9. Rocchio, 0 for 2. Bo Naylor has faced Clark Schmidt twice in his career. He's worked 2 walks. That's it. Those are the guys that have faced him for that Guardians lineup. And we talked a little bit about that for Rodon, right? That was a crazy one where even as much as Rodon was in the Central with the White Sox, there were only a couple of guys that had even faced him. Okay, that didn't go well. You got Garrett Cole, who is very good. Understand that. But tonight, be that scrappy team. Like, okay. I know where we're at. Game 1 was kind of like bonus. You're in New York. It's tough to do. You're back home. The freaking shadows again, because we're going to be a 5 o'clock start today. Those shadows are going to be creeping in. By the way, Truck Park, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Lakewood Truck Park. See you there with Jensen and crew. I might stop by.
Nice.
I think I'm going to stop by.
Unless tickets get cheaper.
No, I ain't having it. You know what? I would go to. I don't mind cold baseball. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Dude, just take your gloves, your hat, and your parka. You're fine.
Your beer jacket.
Your beer jacket.
And the beer jacket.
Well, that gets expensive there at $20
It
pop
does,
over
for
there.
sure.
Pat. That gets a little expensive.
Yeah, they're not doing the $2 pre-games.
Did I tell you about the guy that I ran into in the Royals or in the Tigers series? Bro, we were in the no joke. So this was the Monday game. Was that game
2?
Verling hit the This guy was plastered before first pitch. And I get it, okay? I understand. It's a time of the past for me, but you go hit the bars up, and then you walk in. He didn't make it to the 3rd inning, Pat. He just left. His buddy came back, and he goes, what happened to my friend? And we go, we don't know. He walked down that way. Didn't see him the rest of the game. He bet $100 to make it through 2 innings of baseball that he probably didn't remember. I wonder what happened to that guy. I have no idea. But yeah, you want to wear your beer jacket, make sure you bring, not even bring your cash because it's all cashless now. Make sure you're charging that card over there. So that's, again, you're back at home. The shadows are going to be a part of it. I love a play. Before we get to our plays for this game, slam me the under. It's cold, 7.5. 7.5 for it.
Easy under.
It's the most even spread that it's been. We're plus 105. Minus 115 for the Yankees. So they're still the favorite. But 7.5, cold. You get Boyd to maybe kind of slow them down. And how Stephen Vogt is going to manage this. I mean, again, he's done it the whole series. But, like, going to the bullpen so quick and trying to lower it, I kind of like the under on that. I kind of like the under for tonight. But it's going to come down to getting those first runs on the board, trying to calm everybody down. Because the problem about the ballpark tonight is going to be there's going to be an anxiousness around there. You're going to have that feel. But you're going to need one big hit, that first run, a double to score somebody. Dare I say a home run? And you're going to get the crowd behind you a little bit. And that's going to be the key for tonight. First 3 innings tell the story. I mean, that's pretty much how this series has gone. The first 3 innings will tell you the story. You're not having games like some of the other series where you're getting to the 6th, 7th inning and like nobody scored or it's 1-0 and you're kind of feeling each other out. You have got to come out. As any underdog in a fight should, you come out swinging and hope you clip them. Now, what happens in the late innings if you're burned out? Well, I need to get through the first 3 before anything. Before anything happens. That's going to be a lot on Boyd, and I really think a lot on these bats. And I'm talking small ball. You're going to know pretty quick what Clark Schmidt's got. In his one start against the Royals, he went 4 2/3, 4 hits, gave up 2 runs, struck out 4. So nothing overly impressive. He missed 2 months of the season. He finished with a 2.8 ERA. Not bad. Like, he's good, okay? He's good. He's better than Matthew Boyd. Like, if you were to feel better about one guy going in there, you're in the deficit there. You'd feel better about Clark Schmidt getting that start for your team. Find that way, man. Find that way. And I'm putting that good juju on the Nailers, buddy. I need it bad. I need it from those guys. But I just also wonder, should they have gone with an opener here? Should they have gone with a Cade Smith? Should they have gone with a Hunter Gaddis just to get through the first inning or maybe 2, and then you turn it over to Boyd? And am I managing, if I did that, Pat, does that mean managing scare? Maybe a little bit. Dude, this is where we're at. This is literally it. And if your offense is going to be as anemic as it's been, you got to start with something. You got to. And I also wonder if it's time for a lineup change. And he's done this where he puts Lane Thomas there. You know, I don't know. I don't think David Fry is going to be your DH. You probably give that to Manzardo with the righty-lefty stuff. Okay, fine. What changes can you make? It's that time. We all know. You're down 2-0. It is do or die tonight. So I'm going to be very tied in to seeing what Stephen Vogt does with the lineup and how he handles his pitch, and we'll get to all that coming up. But still, dude, hey, I'm still betting him tonight. I ain't going home. Well, I'm already home. I ain't doing that. I ain't playing that. They're going to get the win tonight. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Get after it. Try to even this up before we go back to New York, or take the lead before we go back. You got 3 games. We'll see how it goes tonight. Flip it over to football yesterday. You know, Pat, doing this job for as long as I have, that there's always been big trades. There's always been big things that happen to a team. I always want to know what that next day is like. You know, when a player is shipped out, when a coach is fired. I think it tells you a lot when you get back into that next day of work. And what do you hear from players? What do you hear from your coaches? And just the true vibe. Like, listen, we had a lot of conversation yesterday about the Amari Cooper trade. A lot of conversation about if this was this team waving the white flag or if they really see this as a rallying cry. Now, I want to start with Kevin Stefanski, okay? So here's a couple things from Stefanski yesterday. First up, his blanket statement, which I do think, he didn't even start his press conference with a statement. He literally and usually on a Wednesday, he does your little pre-report where he goes, you know, we're facing Cincinnati and you know, give Zach Taylor his flowers, which are really undeserved. You know, oh, they play good defense, so they got this guy on special teams. Or, dare I say, even start with Amari Cooper. He didn't. He goes, we got a busy work week. I'm ready to take any questions. Now, the first question was about Amari Cooper. I don't know why, man. I read into that a little bit. So here is Kevin Stefanski. First off, just his blanket statement about the Amari trade. Audio courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
Disappointed when you lose any player for injury or otherwise, trade, whatever it is. So, I wish Amari luck. Obviously, talked to him yesterday. We're excited. It opens up opportunities for other guys. But, you obviously become close to your players, and you don't like to lose anybody for any reason. But we understand the business part of that, and we're excited what the opportunities will be for some other guys.
Okay, coach speak. Oh, we're always excited for the next guys up and business decision. You'll hear that from Deshaun Watson. It's the company line. Now, following off of that, Kevin Stefanski, how do you sell this to your locker room? Which I think, again, is a very, very important question. And it's like, okay, before we hear from Kevin, Pat, is it the job of the head coach to sell this to a locker room? Because initially you would say, yeah, he's the head coach. He's the one that sets the tone and all that. On the other side, these are paid professional athletes that for the vast majority of them have been part of a transaction at some point of their career. You got Miles and Njoku and Bitonio, certainly not. A lot of other guys been traded, released, signed, moved here. They've all been a part of it. So I just asked that as an interesting question of how much do you think it is on Kevin Stefanski to sell this to the team, or do you look at him and say, be freaking grown-up professional millionaire athletes and deal with it? But the question was to Kevin Stefanski, how do you sell this to the locker room, man? Audio courtesy of the Browns.
I think our guys get the number one thing here is to win. The number one thing is to compete. The truth is you do lose guys throughout the course of a season. Sometimes it's due to injury. Sometimes it's due to trade, whatever it may be. And our guys have to step up when that time comes.
He answered the question of this is on them. This is on them to understand this is part of it. Now, what I didn't like from Kevin, well, it's like injuries. No, because you did this. You didn't choose to give a guy an ankle injury, okay? You didn't choose for this guy to have to go on IR. This was a thought-out decision. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Pat, I mean, we were here yesterday, but we talked, this was the right move. This was the right move in a vacuum for the Cleveland Browns. They upsold. You got him for a 5, got productive years, and traded him for a 3. You upsold that, all right? Good move from Andrew Berry. But it doesn't hit for me when they go, well, it's no different than losing a guy to injury. No, it is. It is. Because you chose to do this. And the reason you chose to do this is because of where your team is at. There is an element that you could rally this together and say, we traded him because you guys suck. All right? You get what I'm saying? We traded him because this team is 1-4. That's a lie. Because we're 1-5.
Man. That's got some stink on it.
Doesn't that have a little sting to it? It's got some stink on it. Jesus. Good Lord. Sorry. Didn't mean to rub that salt in the wound, but here we are. All right, so you're 1-5. You traded him because we're in this situation. And there's 2 ways to do it. You look at it and you get pissed off about it, or you go, well, I want to be next. I want to be next. So I don't mind that he's putting it on the players. I think it kind of wears thin a little bit for me of them going to you lose guys left and right. You chose to do this. You didn't choose for this guy to get hurt. You didn't choose this guy to have a concussion or whatever. Then the final thing, to Kevin Stefanski. This idea that Cooper wasn't given it all, right? He had comments that he wasn't practicing the way that he should. We know the drop passes thing, which I don't know if that's an effort thing. That's like a mental thing. You want to dog it on routes and pull a George Pickens? That's different. You're not running your routes hard. That's an effort thing. Catches, I just think he got a case of the drops. And you could fix that. And you can kind of come out the other side. I don't think that's an effort thing. But Stefanski was asked, do you think Amari Cooper, very pointedly, was giving it his all? Here's audio courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
I don't think it's fair for me, Mary Kay, to speculate on that.
Oh, wait, stop. Sorry. I'm sorry,
Amari
Pat. I
came to
set
work
that up
every single day.
improperly. All right. The first one was he posted the thing about I wouldn't mind it, about a trade weeks ago. That was the first one. Then the clip continues with Tony picking it up about him giving it all. That's my bad. I set that up improperly. So the first question from Mary Kay was, do you have any comment about when Amari posted that thing about wouldn't mind it at all? Here's Kevin Stefanski, courtesy of the Browns.
I don't think it's fair for me, Mary Kay, to speculate on that. Amari came to work every single day, did everything that I asked of him. Again, wish Amari luck, but past that, I don't have much to say.
There it is. Was that all of it? I thought I left the Grossi clip in there. I know. Anyway, the question about giving it. Oh wait,
He did say
That's
he didn't
it.
practice hard enough at one point. He said, I have to start practicing like it's a game.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of what he meant there, Tony. I think he could probably answer that better than I could. I would think if you watch the tape and see him work, he's a guy that put in extra work post-practice, off days, those type of things.
there was an opportunity for a shot there. And, you know, if you listen to Amari with his press conference in Buffalo, he couldn't get the grit off of his face. And I think he kind of took a shot at the Browns when he goes, it's exciting to come to a winning team. There was that opportunity for Kevin Stefanski, and he didn't take it. And I appreciate that for him. This tit and tat, this bitching at one another through the media, it serves no purpose. So there was an easy opportunity for Kevin to take a veiled shot, you know, and say, well, if he felt that way, then maybe there was room for improvement. I'm going to take the high road in this. I'm going to take the high road in this whole thing. But then it comes back to, my mind works in weird ways, Pat. Wouldn't it be, I'm just going to say what I was thinking on this. Wouldn't it be easier for the excuse just to be that he was dogging it? Because now I sit here and I go, then what was really the problem? Like, if I take him at his word, which I'm going to, that Amari Cooper was working really hard, and, you know, Deshaun Watson said, and I didn't cut this part, but Deshaun Watson, he goes, why couldn't you get on the same page with him? He goes, dude, defenses are tough, and it's really hard. The easy answer would have just been he was dogging it. Now I look at it and I go, this offense really, not that I needed to know this, but like the offense is really that broken. If it just was a simple answer that Amari Cooper was a cancer and he hated being here and he hated Deshaun Watson and he was just dogging it, that's easier for me to swallow than actually, no, he was giving max effort and we still just sucked. That's worse. That's worse. Now, you don't ever want players out there, you know, working their way out of here or not giving it all. So it's like on one side, you're like, I appreciate Amari doing that. But now I sit there and I go, dude, we really got problems. We really got problems. Like, if he was giving you everything he had and he was doing stuff extra at practice and you still had 2 good games out of Amari Cooper of 6, then I'm like, well, what the fuck are we doing? And how could you feel any sort of positivity moving forward with Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman? And, you know, Ryan and I got heated on that yesterday about, the development of some of these young guys. Pat, I sit here today and I go, what are we going to do? Again, the trade itself was the right move to make. But now that I'm moving towards Cincinnati, who are you going to throw the football to? If I'm Cincinnati, I don't think Lou Anarumo needs to be doing this. You double Jerry Jeudy, you let somebody else beat you. Now that's, okay, so again, we go back to last year. That's what defenses were doing to Amari Cooper, and he was still getting catches and still winning games for us. What are you going to do now? You better have David Njoku career game coming in. What are we going to do?
But here's the thing, too, is like, so Big Play Dave had a really great tweet about...
Shout out to Dave.
Yeah, shout out to Dave. Does a great job. He had the screenshot of all the third-round wide receivers that we've taken.
Oh, I saw it.
I mean, we're 0 for however many years.
0 for a million, yeah.
So that's the thing is, like, you're just starting over and over and over and over. And I felt like, we'll get into this in the weekend update, but this felt like the Odell Beckham situation to a lesser degree because Amari's more of a quality person, in my opinion. But you just have drama and you get rid of these guys for third-round picks and it never works out, really, and then you start over with rookies. It's just really difficult to see because David Njoku can't carry your offense. Jerry Jeudy can't carry your offense. Nick Chubb coming back great.
Yeah, we'll talk about Chubb,
It's just a never-ending cycle, it feels like.
No, it's hard, and that's the thing. They've now... I guess like now is almost the time, which you were getting there anyway, rethink everything. Like, stop it. And again, I'm not trying to drive this towards Deshaun Watson. That it's us beating our head against the wall. He's your starting quarterback. He's going to start Sunday. I don't know what else to tell you, right? But at this point, you now have to relook at everything. Now, there's some positive maybe in that of we were locked into this way, trying to throw to Amari, but now coincide, you're getting Nick Chubb back. He might have 10 carries on Sunday. That might be it. You don't have Amari Cooper now. I'm going to fall back on Kevin Stefanski and Ken Dorsey to try to figure out a new path. Because the path you're on ain't working. We know that. Let's deviate now. It could get a lot worse, but maybe there is some growth. I have no idea. We'll find out on Sunday. And you're facing a pretty porous defense. I know they held the Giants to 7, but it's the freaking Giants, okay?
Without Malik Neighbors.
And now is your opportunity to open things back up. What's the best thing about the Browns offense right now? My answer is Kevin Stefanski, right? Until Nick Chubb can get back to a level that I hope he can get to. Sure as hell's not Deshaun Watson. It's not Amari Cooper anymore. So if you want to lean into, and people might be yelling at me saying I'm an idiot for that take, but it is what it is. Like, the strongest thing about your offense, the best thing about the Browns offense right now has got to be Kevin Stefanski. Dude, I'm going to load this all onto his plate and say, fix this. Okay, you're without Amari Cooper. You've done it this way to this point. Tear it all up. And there's two ways. You either go all the way in with Ken Dorsey or you basically fire Ken Dorsey without firing him. Say, we're done running your crap. I think that's the way you go. You go to this ball control, run the ball, do what Kevin Stefanski has shown that he can do. Yes, Amari Cooper was a luxury. He was a really good player. He's not here anymore. Time to change some things. And I'm sure that is a way, like that can be a message to the team. That can be the message in their meeting yesterday. Guys, we have a lot of respect for Amari Cooper. He was a great player while he was here. For some of you, he was a friend, all of that. Now is a new beginning. Now is a time for us to really change what we were doing. It wasn't like Amari was holding us hostage. It's not like he was sitting there and commanding a lot of passes or bitching that he wasn't getting the football. But now we begin anew. We're going to try things a little bit different now. And that is this collective of you players there that now we're going to do a little differently. And I'm going to put it on some of these guys. You're going to have to throw the football. You can't do 1930s football where you throw it 8 times. All right, you're going to have to throw. A lot of that on Deshaun Watson. All right, man. We're going to try it a little bit different here. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, let's get his take on the whole trade here. Here's Watson yesterday, audio courtesy of the Browns.
The biggest thing is, of course, Coop is my brother. These last 3 years, we got to know each other, not just on the field, but especially off the field, hanging out in the off season. Our families hanging out with each other. He helped me through some tough times that I was dealing with and vice versa. So, it's definitely tough to see a brother and see a teammate that mean a lot, not just for myself, but for the locker room, get traded away. But, you got to trust the organization and what AB and Kevin and those guys upstairs have planned. And, that's out of my control. But, at the same time, we're definitely going to miss him, and we appreciate everything he brought for this team and this organization.
Sounds different, doesn't it? That sounds more of a they did this. I'm going to miss him. He's a friend. What they think upstairs. And I might be ripping apart nothing that's there, and that's just him trying to give the lines, the company lines and all that kind of stuff. That sounds, and I want to preface it by saying this. The way Deshaun Watson has played, he's got no business to sit there and complain about anything, right? But, Pat, does that not sound like a guy that a little beaten down by this? Maybe didn't want this type of move to happen?
Yeah, you know what I thought sounded like to me was this was can we still be friends after a breakup? That's what that's what it felt like to me, where it's like you're holding on to the last little shred of like, oh, well, he's my boy or whatever. Like, we played well together. No, you did not.
No,
it just didn't happen.
No.
Like, seeing Joe Flacco, that picture of him and Amari Cooper with the Nickelodeon where they're doing the slime or whatever. Yeah, take me back to those times.
Right.
Man. Jeez.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. Watson knows his job got that much harder. But hearing that, you could feel the pain. You could feel it in Deshaun Watson talking about, yeah, my guy's not here anymore. And there's, again, a little part of it that I would look at him, yeah, he's not here because of you. He's not here because of you. Nah, I ain't gonna go there. Nah,
Come on.
nah.
Come on. Hot take, Matt Fontana. Come on.
We used to do Hot Take Tuesday.
Hot Take Tuesday.
You remember that? Oh, no, we used to, I had a
Hot
short,
Take Thursday?
we had a short run for it. We called it Hot Take Tuesday. It was one segment on the show that we did years ago. And it was just, you call up with your hottest take. You know, you hate ranch. Whatever. You know, whatever your hot take was. And then another show in town ripped it off. But that's all right. No, we were done doing it anyway.
A show that will remain nameless.
Yeah, that's fine. Did they trade Amari Cooper to stick it to Deshaun Watson? Can I ask that question?
It's not that.
It's not that.
Truly, I mean,
It's not that.
we're projected for number one overall.
Again,
Are we
here
not?
I sit and I
Yeah.
say that the trade was the right thing to do. You got good value back. But when you hear Deshaun Watson, play it again for me, Matt, please. This is Deshaun Watson. He sounds defeated. He sounds not happy with this. Was this trade a giant blank you to Watson? Here he is.
The biggest thing is, of course, Coop is my brother. These last 3 years, we got to know each other, not just on the field, but especially off the field, hanging out in the off season. Our families hanging out with each other. He helped me through some tough times that I was dealing with and vice versa. So, it's definitely tough to see a brother and see a teammate that mean a lot, not just for myself, but for the locker room, get traded away. But, you got to trust the organization and what AB and Kevin and those guys upstairs have planned. And, that's out of my control. But, at the same time, we're definitely going to miss him, and we appreciate everything he brought for this team and this organization.
I don't mean to take a 40-second clip and rip through it, but it wasn't, hey, we're excited about the new guys. All right, it's like there sounds to be a little bit of a divide there. A little bit of a divide. And it'd be hard to not sit there and think about the impact. Now, the biggest impact is the Browns are 1-5. They're not a good football team. Is a big part of that Deshaun Watson? Absolutely. But here we are. Did they trade him away in part because they go, hey, you ain't getting it done. You're not getting it done. That's where my mind goes. Right or wrong, did they trade him in part to spite him? I have no idea. Because I also have that just nagging thing in the back of my mind. They need to keep playing Deshaun Watson. They're going to keep playing him. And I think part of that is, again, spite. We paid you all this money. You ain't skating out of this. You're not skating out of this. Again, now my mind is just working, Pat. They go, we'll get him out of here. You don't get to leave. No. That's a message to be sent. Now, the other problem is other good players that are paid might start to go, well, get me the f*** out of here too. But it's like, listen, man, we all know Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be here anymore. For one way or another, we all know it. He probably wants that fresh reset, and he'd love for anybody to come take that contract just so he can go play somewhere else. And a guy that it sounds like is awfully close to him and meant a lot to him on this offense, he got his papers. He got his papers. He gets to leave now. He gets to go somewhere else. And you could hear it from Cooper. The exuberance of being there, just talking about Josh Allen. And he got to walk to Buffalo, a team that's going to be in the playoffs.
He might have walked there, too. You said he drove there.
He drove there. He got in his car. He goes, I ain't going to wait for a flight.
He would have even walked there.
Gone.
Shoot, man.
Bye.
Devontae Adams, red eye.
See ya.
Amari Cooper
Get
drove
in the
over to
car,
Buffalo.
grab some beef jerky. Chex Mix on any
Yep.
road trip is a necessity.
They
What's
got
your
Wegmans
go-to
over there?
road trip? What's that?
They got Wegmans over there you can stop at.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have Wawa's up in Buffalo? I don't know.
I don't. That's a good question.
Go to road trip. I think.
Go-to
trail
road
mix is
trip
definitely.
beverage.
Oh, beverage. Oh,
Beverage. We can do snacks too. Me, I got beef jerky is always because beef jerky is so freaking expensive
Yeah, it
anymore.
is.
So like
Yeah,
you
man.
got to get it for the road trip.
Yep.
I got to have Chex Mix. I don't know why because you can't
Original flavor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are there other flavors?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like a honey one, and there's
Okay,
like some
I can mess
cheese,
with some
like
honey.
cheesy or whatever.
See,
Really good.
Cheesy, you can't because then you're back on the
Yeah,
steering
and you
wheel.
can't-
You can't have Cheetos, you can't have Doritos because you're
Yeah.
back on the steering wheel there.
Yep.
Chex Mix is goated. again, the beef jerky, what's your go-to beverage for a road trip?
Go-to bevy? I sound like Hanford Dixon, but probably a McDonald's Diet Coke.
Oh,
man.
McDonald's always slaps.
Yeah,
Especially their Sprite.
Yeah. We had a whole conversation about that on the Hanford Dixon show. Hanford every day has a McDonald's Diet Coke extra ice. So
Extra ice?
extra ice. That's the weirdest part to me.
That is, because they already fill that damn thing up with ice.
And he was complaining about it. It went from $1.07 to $1.08.
Oh, dude,
So,
inflation is
yeah,
everywhere.
it's hitting it.
Costco raising their annual fees by $5.
Man.
I don't get it often, but a Mountain Dew Code Red.
Ooh, wow.
Code Red.
I haven't had one of. Are they still
I
making those?
have not had a Code Red in ages.
That takes me back to like
Age.
9th grade, man.
Well, that's gaming at night and all that.
Yeah.
But like on a road trip, because I'm not a big pop person, but like, yeah, Pepsi here and there. But like when it's really good for that road, because a little spark, little something going, grab an energy drink if you need
sure.
one. But like I did a Code Red sitting there. And then the
Absolutely
other
slaps.
important thing, and I don't know if Amari had this, did he have a good co-pilot?
Did he have a Code Red?
Did he have a Code Red? I don't know. Arizona's always cheap. That's always good to go with.
Yeah.
But when you're on the road trip, you got, and my wife, she loves this role. That's the job of the co-pilot. Music, vibes, and you need a napkin?
Have to have a good DJ.
Gotta have a good DJ.
Have to.
You got to be focused on you ever see that meme of like the people that are in the car? There's the person behind the driver's always the one that falls asleep.
Correct.
Then the other person, but the co-pilot is the important one.
Yep.
Now we all have directions on our phone. It's nice and easy and all that. Good co-pilot is important. So I don't know if Amari had that or if he's got in his car
I
and
hope
he was
so.
like, bye.
I hope he drove safely.
I hope he drove safe. Final thing from Deshaun Watson. Same thing Kevin Stefanski talked about. Deshaun, what message do you think this sends to the rest of the locker room? Deshaun Watson, courtesy of the Browns.
And that's part of the business. I mean, at the end of the day. So for me, it's not a bad message. I've been in this league for 8 years, and I've seen it happen over time. So, it's what the front office and organization feel is best for, I guess the organization and for that player. So, for me, it's just, it's part of the business and it's part of how this world kind of goes. So you got to control what you can control and accept it.
It's just the same thing of like, the way it comes off from the Cleveland Browns is this was inevitable, right? Oh, it's like an injury. This is how it goes. No, you did not have to make this move. Now, again, I don't want to complain because it was the right thing to do. But like you sit here and you wonder, it's like they're making it out like they had no choice. Comes back to what? Deshaun Watson. They act like they don't have a choice when you really do. People got all up in arms about my tweet from Jeremy Fowler yesterday when he said he feels like the Browns are resigned to doing this and starting Deshaun Watson. Everybody says, no, man, they have a choice. You had a choice in this. So for them to play the card of like, well, we really have a choice in trading Amari Cooper. No, you did. No, you did. And trust me, I'm happy for Amari Cooper. I'm not going to talk ill will on Amari Cooper. I'm just not, okay? He was a good player. The one thing, it wasn't his fault. It was not his problem here. So him leaving now gives me the uneasiness that I think a guy that was part of the solution is not here anymore. What's going to happen now? And I'm going to have to, again, put that back on Stefanski and the rest of this offense to get it figured out. But, Pat, he was a guy I felt like was part of the solution here. He ain't here anymore. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? Now, I flip over to CBS Sports this morning because they did their agent take on the Davante Adams trade, but also the Amari Cooper trade. So, again, they love their restructures. And this is where this bites you in the ass. But you would not have traded him had you not restructured him. So here's where it is. The Buffalo Bills expressed interest in acquiring Davante Adams before he was sent to the Jets. The issue is the Bills only have $3 million in cap space and have no realistic path to create more through restructuring, making the trade for the Raiders impossible for Davante Adams. They quickly pivot to Cooper, who obviously, as we know, was not part of the plans and the Ayuk trade and all that other kind of stuff. Cooper's adjusted contract in July, the addition of $5 million, which, by the way, is now not likely to be gained, and the opportunity to earn 25 instead of the original 20 in 2024. The rework deal, 18.7 of the $20 million, turned into a signing bonus with dummy years of 27 and 28 put in there. Josh Allen, getting him now. Okay, here it goes. The Bills are only responsible for $800,000 of Cooper's $1.2 million. The Browns pick up a corresponding cap hit of dead cap $8 million this year. There's also, oh my God. So here's where we're at. This is the contract part of Amari Cooper. They get him for nothing. We have a cap hit of 8 this year and 22 next year. Wow. That you got a 3rd round pick for. Now, again, that money is no matter what. The difference is, well, he's going to walk anyway. It's not like it was a post-June 1 cut and you spread it around. So the problem is, that money is now on your cap when you're going to be sitting here counting every freaking penny trying to get out of the Deshaun Watson deal. But that's, again, the trade would not have happened without the restructure. So I sit here and I'm angry about the restructure because I would have liked the money to be moved off, but that's not where we're at. You're going to have to pay the piper eventually. And you're going to have to pay out Deshaun Watson even more. We all know that. And that's where you sit there with the Amari Cooper deal. So it's not like you saved any money on it. It's not like you got off any money to help you out in their situation. It's exactly what you got to deal with. It kind of sucks. So that's where again, you complain about the restructure, but you would not even be able to move them without the restructure. So you get it done. It is what it is. Now to gladder tidings as we go right now. Nick Chubb makes his return. So it's so great to hear him in the locker room yesterday. And before he even walked up, listen to his teammates as Nick Chubb walked up for his media availability yesterday. This is just his teammates in the locker room. There he is. He walks up. There it is. That's Nick Chubb walking up. You could tell, the emotional lift, I think, for the team, and he's certainly going to have it. Here's Nick Chubb, though, asked the question about what it's going to feel like getting back out there on Sunday with his teammates and in front of the fans. Here's Nick Chubb, courtesy of the Browns.
I feel like I've been feeling it for a while now. I'm ready to get out there with my team, ready to do whatever I can. Feel good.
How anxious are you to get that crowd Sunday, especially after what you wrote in the Players' Tribune?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm worried about Wednesday though, but I know it'll be a good thing going back out there.
It's going to feel good, and it's going to be important for the Browns to kind of capture some of that. They better announce the offense, and they better announce him last. And that's what they're going to have to do on Sunday to kind of get it going. Final thing here from Nick Chubb. He talked about what made Cleveland so special. Now, obviously, we all read the Players' Tribune article yesterday, but this is straight from Nick Chubb talking about here right in Cleveland. This is for you and I. It really is.
I think it's the people here in Cleveland that make it what it is. People here, they want to win, and they love sports here, the sports town. You can't be mad at people for being upset when things aren't going good. So I think the people here, the love they have for us and everyone in the city is what makes it special.
That is, I've said this, it's on record, I said again yesterday, you don't want to see Nick Chubb play anywhere else. And I hope the Browns get to that point that eventually they can give him a contract. I'm not talking a 5-year deal. Just keep reworking this so he can stay here. But the thing is, Pat, I have been selling Nick Chubb short. And I've been continuing to do it because I want to see what he has when he comes back. But I'm not going to lie, I got hooked yesterday. And I got hooked on one of those many highlight videos of Nick Chubb. And I forget how freaking good he really is. And I sit there and I say, bro, if you get a slice of that, if you just get a little piece of that back, let alone if he can return to form. And that's where I get, he came back from it at Georgia. That was so long ago. I'm not discrediting and I'm not discounting how big of these injuries are, but I got to remind myself, I got to leave that door open that he can get back there. And maybe and whatever this season might be, and I don't know, it seems like we're swirling the drain right now as it goes, whatever. But I gotta start putting more effort towards Nick Chubb being the guy again, being that guy. And I know that this league is so different when it comes to running backs right now, but listen, I know that Deshaun Watson probably not long for the tooth here in Cleveland, and whatever that might be. But okay, I'm going to talk myself into it. If Nick Chubb can kind of return to form, if David Njoku can be what you thought he was, there's going to be some retooling on that offensive line. Fine. This might be a really good situation for a quarterback. Maybe a good situation for Deshaun Watson on that small, teeny tiny chance that he actually can do something. And I doubt that, but you never know. Could be a piece to this whole thing, a big piece to this whole thing moving from Nick Chubb. Now, I'm going to, again, come in really low. I think you're going to get 10 carries on Sunday. But, dude, if he rips one off, it's just I want to dream. I want to believe that Nick Chubb can come back and be the running back he was in the past. Now, people say the offensive line is not what it used to be, and he's been away from football all that long. Fine, I completely understand it. But, Pat, I'm starting to get the juices flowing again. I'm starting to get the hype and the vibe around Nick Chubb.
Yeah, man, how could you not? I mean, that's the only positive we've really had for this football team we're going on 6 weeks already, is that Nick Chubb might come back. And just think that first, like you said, the introduction of him, they'll definitely do the offense. It'd be interesting if they introduce Watson and then Chubb or Chubb.
No. They're not that stupid. No. They're not that stupid.
It'll be cool because, if you're Kevin Stefanski, you definitely are going to give the first handoff of the game, offensive play of the game to Nick Chubb, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's for your football team.
He better be a start. Right, exactly. Yeah, right.
That's just how you should do it. And it's going to be great to see, regardless of records, whatever. It's going to be great to see Nick Chubb back out there.
No, and that's something to kind of blunt the pain, so to speak, of this week. And I'm not saying, I was talking about earlier how I was going to see the Browns react to the Amari Cooper trade and how they kind of handled things yesterday. It did feel different than some of the other ones, right? I didn't necessarily get that vibe that we're screwed and woe is us. It sounded just like we're just going to move forward. Now, the problem is you're moving forward at 1-5, and I think everybody's just kind of walking through the motions right now. That's where Sunday is going to be key. Sunday is going to be so key on what the vibe of this team is, on how they're feeling about it. The thing is, Nick Chubb is on the side of the positive on that. You heard his teammates, the excitement around Nick Chubb. And the thing is, everybody likes Nick Chubb. There is nobody in that locker room, there is nobody in this Cleveland Browns fan base that doesn't love Nick Chubb. And they get him back Sunday. That is hopefully part of that emotional lift that this team will need. The issue is that's only good for Sunday. Once you get that first game back, he's back. But the build up to that, that's what the Browns are going to have to capture for Sunday. That's what they're going to have to use to frankly kind of move past this Amari Cooper thing. Now, for me personally, Pat, until Amari goes for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. But for now, we're done. We're done with Amari Cooper, right? And that's not me crapping on him. That's me saying, hey, man, I appreciate your work. And if anything, I'm happy you got the hell out of here. Best of luck against every team except the Cleveland Browns.
Correct.
That's it. But we're on to Cincinnati. Famous line from Bill Belichick. We're on to Cincinnati. You now move this a little bit forward. And again, I think you capture the excitement of of Nick Chubb. But it is. What are you going to do Sunday? You still need to get a win against a reeling Cincinnati team and also a team that you have owned. There is a little bit of the boogeyman syndrome, I think, with Joe Burrow facing the Cleveland Browns. Thank God we're back at home. You still have Myles Garrett. You got to get in there and make it messy. That's going to be my key word for the week. For the Guardians against the Yankees and for the Browns against the Bengals, make it messy. Make it disgusting. I don't care how it's got to look. You just got to get your wins. That's it. Browns have the opportunity to do that. They're getting a little bit healthier. You know, like getting Thornhill back. I don't know if he'll play this weekend. They got Ryan's not here to just rip Juan Thornhill. But, you know.
I don't have that beef with Juan Thornhill.
I don't have a problem with him either. Ryan's got this thing about Juan Thornhill I don't understand. But, like, all right, if you get Delpit back, sounds like Denzel's going to be all right to go. Like, all these things are fine. You're getting a little healthier. You got Conklin and Wills back, which did not help you, by the way. I sent the graphic out from the 33rd team. Even with Wills and Conklin back, you had the worst offensive line this past weekend. The worst in pass defense or pass blocking.
Protection,
yeah, the worst. But things are oh man, it's not a question because I know the answer. Are things trending in the right direction for the Browns? We know they're not. But as I sit here and being the fan that I am, trying to find the ways. See how it goes Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is you're totally spot on with that. The Browns need to beat the Bengals specifically because it's kind of like the inverse of Juju when he was on the Steelers saying the Browns is the Browns. If you feel like you own a team, for this fan base, we have to beat the Bengals this week.
Yeah.
Not just because it would put us at 1-6, not because it would put us at a lower record. It's because you need to beat that divisional opponent who thinks that they're better than, the Browns. And I'll tell you, the fight between the Enter the Jungle guys and Ryan and like all the Cleveland guys, it's good stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just different when it's Cleveland and Cincinnati. The Browns need to get this win for the fan base, or it is going to be ugly.
No, and that's where I was going to get to this stat a little bit later from Matt Verdame of SI. Here, we'll do it now. You ready for this? That in the history of the Super Bowl era, there is a stat entering this week that tells you there are only 11 teams that should win the Super Bowl this year. Do you want me to tell you the 11?
Need them.
Here we go. The Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Houston Texans, the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers. Okay?
What?
The LA Chargers.
Wow.
To the NFC side of things, the Commanders, the Eagles, the Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears, Falcons, Buccaneers. All of that. And I'll sprinkle in these other teams. Seahawks, 49ers, Cowboys, and the Colts. History tells you this. Entering week 7, there has never been a team to make or win the Super Bowl that was under 500 through 6 games. That's never happened in the Super Bowl era. No team with a record below 500 entering week 7 has ever even made the Super Bowl, let alone win it. So that tells you Cincinnati, fried, Jets, fried, Dolphins, fried, Saints, fried. And you might be saying, yes, we all know that. Cardinals. So you got to be above 500. If you ever want to break this streak, I guess maybe if you had to pick a team, it might be Cincinnati. But that's another odd, little thing for this weekend. You talk about Cincinnati trying to turn things around a little bit. They're trying to buck a trend at 70 years. 70 years? I put a little sauce on that. However long Super Bowl's been around. Whatever. No team has ever made the Super Bowl being under 500 entering week 7. So pack it in for the Browns. We all kind of, okay, that's where we're at. I guess there trends in history is meant to be broken there, Pat, I guess. But that would tell you. Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, Browns, Bengals, Titans, Jags, Raiders, Giants, Panthers, Saints, Cardinals, and Rams are done. That is the 13 teams that are below 500. Then there's also a stat off of this that happens like sporadically. Since 1970, only 10 teams have ever won a Super Bowl without at this point not leading or being tied for the lead in their division. The last team was the Rams in 2021. I'll do this. Since 2000, there's only been 5 teams that have, again, won the Super Bowl without leading their division at this point. Who does that sink? The Bills? No, not the Bills. They're leading their division, right? Yeah. So, okay. So hang on. Wait. Oh, okay. So it would tell you, I'm sorry, this is the list of teams that it's good for. That would tell you this 11. So again, if you talk about you've got to be above 500 and at least leading or tied for the lead in your division, place your bets on one of these teams. Bills, Steelers, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Vikings, Bucks, Atlanta, 49ers, and the Seahawks. Those are the 11. History tells you that one of those 11 teams are going to win the Super Bowl. Bills, Steelers, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Vikings, Bucks, Falcons, 49ers, Seahawks. That's it. That's it. History tells you go place your bets on one of those teams right now. Kansas City and 49ers are still my pick.
Really?
Yeah. I know the Vikings, great. Sneaky on Tampa.
Yeah, Baker,
Kind of
man.
like Tampa a little bit.
I'll tell you what, the NFC is not really as strong as I was thinking it was going to be.
No, it's not. It's
I'm
really
still
not.
on the Ravens, though. I just think Lamar.
I could list. So
I just
again,
think-
I think the two teams in the AFC, Chiefs and Ravens. I'm not buying the Bills. Lord knows it ain't going to be the Steelers. I don't think the Texans. The NFC side, 49. It ain't going to be the Falcons. It ain't
Nope.
going to be the Seahawks.
Nope.
It ain't going to be the Commanders. No. So I think you're down to Minnesota, Tampa, and the 49ers. Those. So you got 5. There's really. We're boiling it down to 5 teams, and I feel pretty confident about those 5 teams. I'm gonna go play. Hang on.
Let's see our odds here.
Man, did I get worked last night. Freaking Lindor. I had a juicy little, just 3-leg parlay, plus 120. Shohei hit over 5.5 runs, and a Lindor hit, and he screwed me. Absolutely screwed me. All right.
That Shohei home run should have counted for
Woo!
a Lindor hit.
Damn.
Because, oh, my God.
Good God, is he, man.
He hit that to the next Burrow. That was unbelievable.
Chiefs are plus 500 as your favorite right now. So, again, even if you pick those 5 teams, you would come out with, you would at least be even, right? 49ers plus 650. Ravens plus 700. Again, you don't say the Lions because that's not in this trend of at least being in first. Vikings 1,200. Falcons 28. Tampa's plus 3,500.
Wow.
Commanders are plus 4,000. I don't even want to scroll down to the Browns. Plus 25,000. Pat, if I put $2 to win the Super Bowl, I'd win $500 on the Browns to win the Super Bowl right now. I'm just not even going to give them that free money. But again, I thought it was interesting to run through and just kind of see where Cincinnati is at on the precipice and the importance of where they're at coming up for this game this weekend. All right, important game tonight, ALCS Game 3. We got to get it. Reminder, Lakewood Truck Park, 3 o'clock. Pat, I'm shocked I've waited this long. Who's there tonight other than Jensen, Gavin, and Pinot? Tonight, Smoke This will be your food truck starting at 4 o'clock.
I didn't know we could look this up ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, they have their whole schedule.
Okay.
Tomorrow, because we'll be there tomorrow, you get Carter's Barbecue and the Rooster Kitchen tomorrow. And then you want to go up there on Saturday for our pregame? His and Hers and Cheesy Dave's will be there.
Man. Cheesy Big Play Dave. Love it.
Cheesy Big Play Dave. Maybe he should get involved with that. But tonight, it will be Smoke This over there at the Lakewood Truck Park. So get on over there. We'll be there starting at 3 o'clock with our friends at Lipton Hard Iced Tea. Garage beer is going to be flowing. Gab, Dave. Oh, Dave usually shows up. I think he's there. But Pinone and, of course, Jensen Lewis going to be there for our pregame. Getting started today at 3 o'clock over at Lakewood Truck Park. So we'll see you there. Exciting times for that. We got plenty of Guardians to come up at hour 2. We'll get our wagers set for that. Pat's got the morning update. We got the grid. Time up. Got it all. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American and so can you. Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Even though our strength of schedule was number 1 in the NFL, I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
They won, again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. 'Tis the laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, 'tis the law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, sorry. Welcome back. I'm reading emails here, getting ready to go. Pat's got the morning update. All the stories you got to know. Pat, take it away.
Take it away. Didn't know we were ready, but
always be ready. Always
be ready.
Yeah.
ABC, always be ready.
Here we go.
Yeah. But the first one we got was we were just talking about this in the break, but Dan Lanning, the head coach of Oregon, he put on the Polish defense, which is what G-Dub and Blake Williams talked about on Come Get Some the other day. 12 men on the field, so you can get a penalty, waste a couple of seconds there. NCAA has closed that loophole, so now there's going to be more of a penalty. It's going to be a dead ball penalty, so that time will come back onto the clock, still be a 15-yard penalty. Had to happen. You can't really live.
Like, Pat, I think that is one of the highest marks. He's a genius.
He's a genius, for sure.
Like,
But the thing is, this has been around for like 60 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to have something like that, how smart is Dan freaking Lanning, man?
Yep.
Like, I can't tell you how impressed I am that you created something that they had to close. Like, I'm trying to think of that in the average life. You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking about McDonald's earlier, you have a loophole at McDonald's, and McDonald's goes, we got to change everything we're doing.
Yeah.
You're a genius, man.
Yeah. Did you see McMillions?
No.
That's what you're talking about. Is so they had those monopoly things. Some guy found a way to I don't know, a loophole or whatever, and he came out with like $18 million because of it. It's on HBO. You should watch it.
Well, then, yeah, I mean,
Really
there's a
good
lot.
stuff.
You know, we have a lot of that happens in today's day and age where you find that and you just kind of, loopholes. God, Dan Lanning is a genius. They deserve to win that game for that. People are freaking on Ryan Day. I understand that. I'm a bit of a Ryan Day defender, but it's getting harder and harder by the day to
do you think
that.
He was truly outcoached, though? I didn't think it was that bad.
No, because, okay, if Will Howard evades the pocket 2 seconds early, but you still put yourself in that situation. You still had a play call that I don't know how you didn't scream in his, like, why didn't you run a different play? Why did you not run a different play? Because you were still on the fringes of field goal range, right?
Yep.
Why didn't you run a draw? Why didn't you just run a straight? It was very clearly open. Now, again, hindsight is 20/20. And he's also not the play caller. There's some undue just bitching about Chip Kelly in this.
Oh, yeah.
Why is people now looking at him and go, why did you run that play? You could have picked up some yardage, or it had been a quick throw. Right, Pat, that was a 7-step drop.
Yep.
Why would you do that with
And the
6
weird part,
seconds left?
The weird part is he had the out route to the flat route.
I know.
He had it open. They could have gotten
again,
that.
like,
they
kicked a field goal, and that's fine. But again, I guess my thing is, like, if they kicked a field goal and you win, is that then off of Ryan Day? Probably. Like, it'd be different if they got smoked by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, for
Should
sure.
you have won that game in that scenario when you play it out 10 times? Do you not win 9 out of those 10 times?
So.
Probably.
Certainly, yeah.
Now, again, Jaden Fielding could have missed the field goal, and we'd be in a whole world of hurt, too.
Yeah.
But you were playing a really good team. You probably should have won. I don't know why people aren't more upset at Chip Kelly in this whole thing. Why did you call that play in that situation?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's my thing. But
yeah, so that
I'm a defender.
That loophole is closed now. But
that's it. Put that on Dan Lanning's bust for the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well,
Got
that's funny
the
too.
NCAA to change a rule.
Yeah.
Genius.
We were talking about Vance Joseph. This was on Come Get Some on Monday. But Vance Joseph, when he was the DC for the 49ers with Jim Harbaugh, they had a play at the end of like just a first half randomly one day, and they wanted to, run out the clock. So they tackled every offensive player. They tackled all of the skill positions and just ran out the clock.
Well, that's the other thing with Harbaugh. Everybody's talking about the NFL. Remember, they were up by they were up by 5 against the Bengals. Their punter took the snap, just ran around, then went out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Like that. Those are the type of things, and they're fluky things. And you hear coaches all the time say, "Well, we practice this scenario, we practice this and that." There's so many things that come up that you have no idea how it's going to go. So I give credit to Dan. I want to give him so much credit that he came up with something that no one else had thought of, and not even the NCAA thought of. Now, off of that, it's the right move to change. That should be a dead ball foul.
Yep.
Now, it's a little like offsides, right? Where the offense might like it. Hey, we know we got him. And when quarterbacks are like, blah, 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 and then you have a free play. Well, I guess you're penalizing the offense because they don't get to have a free play. And again, on the 12 men, what if they completed it?
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is, what Dan Lanning makes them look so smart, you have an extra guy on the field to not allow them to complete a play. So let's say they complete the play, so be it. But you got an extra defender to stop that, and the clock ran out. That's where I think the issue should come in. But I don't want to make sure I read into this right. Did they change it where it's only within the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, within the last 2 minutes.
That's the right call.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's fine. But within 2 minutes, I think some of those rules needs to change. But Dan Lanning is a genius.
Yeah, he is
Absolute genius for that.
Yeah, so similar to that, actually, we just talked about this on the Bobby Carpenter show yesterday, but Ole Miss had to release a statement because of all of their players cramping up so much and faking injuries that they had to release a statement saying, like, essentially, our guys cramp too much. Do you think that needs to be legislated out of college football? Because it's getting to a problem where it's the same sort of thing where it's an illegal substitution, to be honest with you, where they're getting free timeouts just to fake a cramp or whatever. And I know people do that all the time, but do you think that needs to be legislated out of the game?
I think because you got to the problem is, and what the NCAA is like, and the NFL has the same problem too. Because if you're on, so let's just say this. There was a game, it was a Thursday or Sunday night, and I was watching it. And the team, I think, was actually on defense, but it doesn't make sense for my point. Let's say it was offense, right? And you're trying to motor down the field. Now, the rule is if you get hurt, you burn a timeout. And if you don't get hurt, then it burns 10 seconds off. Now, 10 seconds isn't enough.
No.
Because there are probably some offenses that go, I'll burn 10 seconds. We don't have timeouts. I need to get these guys rallied up. But if you're in that situation, I'm a coach telling my players, I don't care if you got your leg chopped off. You get off the fucking field.
Yep.
You do not go down. But again,
that's what Greg Williams would
what
say.
are you going to do, right? And then the other side of a defense slowing things down, again, I don't know when you would need that to be a thing.
Never know.
Because, again, here's what I was going to say. What they don't like is interpretation.
Yep.
What they do not like is the interpretation of the rules. So what I need to do is look at it and go, well, that guy's really trying to benefit his team there. Well, maybe he just snapped his Achilles. I don't know.
Real.
What's the difference if a guy has a head injury, a neck injury? Then you're, we need the cart out here. This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
All this stuff, what I think really hurts the NCAA, and more specifically the NFL, is they need ironclad black and white rules. It's impossible. It's impossible. Everything has got to be open to interpretation. And the issue is they will never put in there that defensive pass interference should just be open to interpretation. You know what it looks like, and I know what it looks like. But you can't have that because you got to have this is what it is. This is what it is. So that way it's no different between you, me, and this umpire and this back judge and all this other bull crap.
Yep.
There are rules that they're getting exploited. Hey, man, you got to give Dan Lanning credit for it. You really do. And it's really smart.
It was an unbelievable, for him to know that. But, yeah, Matt. So our next one is long lost the Ball brothers. Haven't heard about these guys in a long time. Lonzo Ball made his return to the floor finally. It's been over 2 years. He's had, all kinds of health issues and all these, I don't even know how to explain it, but he's got 2.5 years he hasn't played.
He hasn't played basically 3 years.
Basically
yeah.
3 years because of all of these various injuries.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get back out on the floor. He scored 10 points in a preseason game for the Bulls. Really cool to see. They got a lot of flack growing up when they were at UCLA and all that stuff because of their dad, and rightfully so. But it's cool to see Lonzo Ball battle back to get back out onto the floor, and I hope we get to see him in a regular season game because if he gets introduced at the United Center, I think there's going to be a huge cheer.
See, but like I asked the question, and here's the tough thing for me, Pat. How good is he?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like I can't tell. Like, I think of Brandon Roy. Everybody's like, man, if Brandon Roy's knees just hadn't given up and where he could have been and all that, injuries are a part of it. Like, I understand where Lonzo Ball was drafted, and I understand how good he was supposed to be. You're right. It's hard to not think about his dad anymore, but I think that all quieted. Is Big Baller Brand still around? Is that still a thing? Whatever it is.
Like, hopefully not.
I hope not. But, yeah, at the end of the day, is he a really good basketball player? I don't know. And what difference, once the injuries start, they don't usually stop. So I know they say rehab's all done, all the surgeries and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean he gets like a free pass that he ain't going to get hurt anymore, But the Bulls are a destitute franchise at this point anyway.
Yeah,
so honestly, good for him. I'm happy he's back. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Best of luck when you're not playing the Cavs.
He's got one of the ugliest shots I've ever seen. So 2 more quick ones. One of the prettiest shots I've ever seen is Sabrina Ionescu. She just hit a logo 3 yesterday. Oh, my God. They go up 2-1. The Liberty go up 2-1 on the Minnesota Lynx in the WNBA Finals. Sabrina Ionescu, I think she's so slept on with this whole Caitlin Clark thing. Paige Beckers is coming. Sabrina Ionescu, if she didn't tear her ACL, she would have been a 4-time national champion. I'm telling you right now, would have done it, would have stayed the whole time. But it's really great to see her balling out in the WNBA Finals like that. I don't know if people are tapped into the WNBA as much as they should be.
The one thing I saw too, the Lynx, almost 20,000 set a record for that game for people watching, and you can't, create that kind of stuff. But that's legend about her. The other thing, Pat, did they not erase like a 20-point lead or something like that? It was close. It was something close to that to get it down to 1 going to the 4th quarter. That is drama. Now again, you cannot create that. That's got to be a part of the game. But also, let's make no mistake either, it helps that it's New York.
Correct.
Steph Curry is bought in. There are people that are watching. And I think, again, I'm not trying to rig this up, but like the Aces would have been a good story because there's kind of your dynasty that people always like to root against. But it's New York. It's Breanna Stewart. It's Sabrina Ionescu. Like, they are stars. They are. Nafisa. I mean, they have the players that people are looking to understand who they are, and they're putting up. I saw like back-to-back things. It was like Sabrina did something, Nafisa Collier then did something right. Like, and I'm talking about. I think she passed Sue Bird on one of those. I think Nafisa Collier. I have to find this. She has scored more points in a playoff run than any player in WNBA history. I think she was the one that passed Sue Bird for the most points in a playoff run, not like a series. And then Sabrina Ionescu, or was it Breanna Stewart? One of the two, the most 20-point games in WNBA playoff history. Like, it's big stuff, man. It really is. It's fun to watch, and it's good basketball, man.
Oh, it's a great back and forth series, too.
Yeah.
I mean, so Minnesota won 95-93 in Game 1, I think it was. Minnesota, for the Lynx, they're one of the best WNBA towns, too, because they have such, great fans, just like we do here. We saw it here for the Final Four when Caitlin Clark was here. UConn, always, they're a juggernaut. They always are. But it was really great to see you at the WNBA Finals. Last one I got for you.
Sure.
Fireman Ed, right? Super fan for the Jets.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Fireman
I
Ed.
have a take on this.
So here's my thing, right? So the news is that he thinks he's being phased out by the Jets, whatever. Lots of people think lots of things these days. So, but do the Browns have a fan base? Do they have a fan like that that's been phased out? I guess is the second part of my question.
Phased out, but like, okay, I know Gus. I know Pumpkinhead, okay? And I feel really
He gets a
bad
lot of
about
slack.
his tailgate and everything that kind of got shut down there. But like, I grew up with Big Dog, right? I grew up with Bone Lady. And every group has the, I know the Macho fan. I don't know how to say his name or not, but Dan. I know Dan, who is the Macho fan. He is the best. He's awesome. I should have wore his t-shirt today. I'll wear it tomorrow. Anyway, everybody's got that group of super fans. Here's my take. And this is no related to Gus or Dan or Bone Lady or anything like that. Do you want to know what my wheels got turning on?
Ooh.
That Kansas City guy.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Because when the teams, I get it. There are super fans, and we all know who they are, right? And they're integrated into our fandom, and they're part of it, so they do this and that kind of stuff. But when they're not employees, and again, it's not that Dan or Gus or anything doing anything wrong, but like that was a stink on the Kansas City Chiefs. And for those that don't know, their superfan got arrested for robbing banks. He's in federal prison.
17 years for bank robberies and money laundering.
And that, I think the vast majority of us states, is that really a stink on the Chiefs? Not necessarily, but also when you don't vet these people, when they're not an employee, when you don't do background checks, and they're just, so you just got to watch those types of associations, like where I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of these teams say, we're not doing any of that anymore because we don't know these people. Now, again, they could be great people like Gus and Dan and the Bone Lady and all that, and there's no harm, no foul. But the Chiefs are probably sitting there saying, we should have disassociated from this guy. We don't know who he is. And now he drug us through the mud. All through it. Chiefs superfan. Chiefs superfan this and Chiefs superfan that. Going to federal prison. You don't want that. For what? For nothing, right? They host the tailgate. They do this. They do it, whatever. So, like, that's the first thing that I thought of, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Was that the Jets are probably, and I don't know this fireman ad guy from, I know who he is, but the same thing, the Jets are probably sitting there saying, like, do we really need that headache? Do we really? Or, the other side, he says something cross. Or like, yeah, all it takes is pissing off one person. One person in an organization, they come down, they go, we're done. We're done. And the Browns have a lot of legends like that. And let's just talk for what it is. Like, listen, we all love Bernie. And we all know what's going on with that. I'm not involved in any of that, okay? But there was a time that the Browns had to step away from Bernie, and they did, and they had to look out for themselves, right? Do the right thing. And then Bernie came back and all that other kind of, and again, it got dicey. I know the Browns didn't like how everything went down. But like the same thing, like you are who you are who you associate with. So in these scenarios, if you really don't know who this super fan is, and here's like, nothing's gonna stop Fireman Ed.
Right.
He's butthurt because he probably doesn't get to go to team-only events or, VIP type of stuff. Nobody's telling you can't go to the game. Nobody's telling you that Fireman Ed can't wear his fireman helmet in there.
Yeah,
but they just don't want you associated with the team anymore, and they get butthurt over it. I don't blame him, but I also see a very clear path about why that stuff's happening.
Yeah, and the thing that he said on social media was, it's not even that stuff that he's not welcome at these other places, whatever. They're just phasing him out of the screen time at MetLife. Like, come on. How much are you?
Because it hurts your
brand,
you earn it?
Man. Did you pay for
Well, again, they're season ticket holders, and they've gone through it too. The thing is, everybody's got a brand now. Everybody's got some they're trying to make. I'm sure he's upset because I'm sure there's a Fireman and tailgate somewhere, and he wants people to show up and all that kind of stuff.
The football's a funny world, isn't
well,
it?
The other place I was going to go was Buckeye Guy and Big Nut.
Oh, yeah.
Those might be the two worst.
Those
those guys.
Yep.
Never met them. I'm sure they're nice guys, but they might be the worst of them all. They might be the worst.
They are on camera, I'll tell you that.
Oh, they love it. Yeah. They love it. They know what they're doing there, but it is what it is.
And that's
I'm
the
a
update.
super fans. I love it. All right, a couple things before we get to the grid. We'll get to in a second. I wanted to circle back on something with Amari Cooper, okay? And we kind of had this conversation. I want to kind of dive into it a little bit more to say this. Him not being here anymore, how does that change the Browns solving their problems? And I was really, I like when we had that conversation, Pat, about him leaving, and then I was talking about, okay, I'm putting this back on Kevin Stefanski. Okay, you get Nick Chubb back. And I thought about it more and more, where, again, separating the business, but hearing from Watson and hearing from Stefanski, like, hey, man, this is part of the business, and this is what we needed to do. It just kind of reminded me that the Browns are 1-5 with an absolutely god-awful, atrocious offense, and you just traded away your best offensive player. What kind of world does that make sense in? Now, again, it was the right business move, and it's probably the best for the franchise long-term. Amari Cooper was not playing football here next year, and they probably did right by him to get him out of here for all of the service that he gave to the team and that kind of stuff, doing him right to get him out of here. Pat, I see her get ready for Sunday, and I go, what the fuck are we going to do? He was dropping passes and, wasn't even making the right. Again, I'm buying it. But now you don't even have somebody for the defense to look at and go, we should probably cover that guy. Do you think that right now Cincinnati is sitting there worried about what Jerry Jeudy is going to do to you? Do you worried about what David Njoku is going to do to you? Probably not.
On top of that, you think they're scared of Jed Wills, Jack Conklin?
Right. Well, I'm not a big. I think Trey Hendrickson is
he's
extremely overrated. But
I think so
that's
too.
just
But
me.
I think he's going to eat.
Oh,
on Sunday.
well, we'll see. But that's where an intrigue has now started for me about what are they going to do? And I'm not expecting them to come out and have a 45-point explosion. Oh, God, I hope they everybody. Oh, sure, it was Amari Cooper. Trust me, it was not Amari Cooper. But it's like the question of Amari being part of the problem or being part of the solution. I thought he's part of the solution, and now he's not here. That's worrisome. That's not good. And I will never buy in to the people that are trying to say he was part of the problem. We know he wasn't. Okay, he dropped some passes, all that other kind of stuff. But I just, like, I'm going to say the word intrigue, because I don't want to say it's, like, negative or anything like that. But, Pat, I am thoroughly interested to see what they are going to do without him now. And knowing that this, I'd feel a lot less, I'd feel a lot more uneasy if we were 3-2 or 4-2 or whatever, trying to get ready to go.
It still mattered.
Because it would matter. You would not have made the move if you were 4-2. I understand that. But, like, and this is, I guess, maybe Ryan was really trying to push me on this yesterday, sit here and say, hey, now you got an evaluation period and you got to put all these other people in. I'm also at the point now where I'm like looking at Kevin Stefanski and going, all right, what do you got? We made this move. What do you got?
Yep.
And how that meeting went when they called Kevin Stefanski, we're trading away Amari Cooper. Did he throw a clipboard and go, what are you doing here? And I know he didn't. You have to be all in on that type of move. But I just sit there and I was like, okay. Again, I'm beyond him getting traded. I wish him the best. I've got no problem with Amari Cooper. He was a great player here. He was part of the solution. My mind is solely focused on now, what are you going to do? And it's like, I get that people inherently are going to be negative. And they're going to be like, we're ass. We suck. What do you want us to do? I can't be that way. I'm trying to pull the silver lining out of it. And that's a big intrigue for me on Sundays to see what are they actually going to do without Amari Cooper. And I don't think it's going to unlock something big. I don't know. But it's like, I guess I kind of want them to go back to the drawing board. I mentioned that earlier. I kind of want Kevin Stefanski, and for better or worse, Ken Dorsey, rethink everything. Rethink it all. Redo everything. 6 games, it's been bad. Amari Cooper was probably your best player. He's gone. Rethink it all. But what's the first thing that you would think of? Benching Deshaun Watson. Is that not the answer? Is that not the answer of rethinking everything?
It has to be. How could it not be?
Reshaping everything.
I just don't
It's
get
got to
it,
come
man.
back to you, and they're not going to do it. I know they're not.
I just don't get why not.
When the story of this season is written, it's going to be a horror novel. It'll be written, and now you are on to a new chapter. It's the without Amari Cooper chapter. And it's unwritten, but it's something that I do want to see what they have cooked up. Do you go back to just all the tight ends and the running backs and all that kind of stuff? And it's also, we didn't really talk about this yesterday. The trading of Amari Cooper is a signal that they're done with Ken Dorsey's offense. This entire thing, this season, was predicated on the spread offense. We're bringing in Dorsey to help us with this because that is what is supposed to help Deshaun Watson. Narrator, it ain't. So now you trade away Amari Cooper, in also part of getting Nick Chubb back. You are signaling we're actually done with that. And it's something that I asked for. It's something that I was really starting to push, that we need to have a shift back to what Kevin Stefanski is really good at. I go back, as we've been doing a lot, to our interview with Warren Sharp, which you can get on our brand new Big Play app. And he said, what Stefanski runs doesn't mesh with what Deshaun Watson runs. Clear. Obvious. Now, with the trading of Amari Cooper, all back in on Kevin Stefanski. Now, the issue is you've not built your offense up for that. You are short on tight ends. You don't have a Kareem Hunt here anymore. Jerome Ford ain't going to play this weekend. You're banged up. You're hurt. But I think this was the signal. I think that this was the signal to the team. We tried it this way. And really, let's call it for what it is. This is speaking directly to Deshaun Watson. We tried it the way that you needed it, and it didn't go right. Now, we're going to try it my way. You ever see Days of Thunder?
No, sir.
Tom Cruise, Robert Duvall, great movie. Here's a quick little snippet of that. So their driver was this hotshot a-hole, Tom Cruise, and he was running the car and he was burning the tires up. And they go, you can't survive that way. You're never going to make it to the end of the race. So Harry Hogg sits him down and he goes, you run 10 laps any way that you want. You're going to run 10 laps the way that I want you to. It came out that Harry was right. He goes, you are not only faster, but you kept your tires on the damn car. Same thing for the Browns. All right, Deshaun, we're going to run it your way or the way that we think you need it. We did it. Didn't go well. Now you're going to run it our way. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say, Pat, I'm intrigued. And I want to see it. Again, I know the chances are slim that Deshaun Watson gets this figured out and he's ever the guy that's $230 million. Because here's what you would say, right? You paid $230 million for a system quarterback, for a borderline game manager. Hey, man, that's better than what we got right now. That's all that we could even at this point believe and hope he could get to is to that level. Then if we do get to that level, maybe we'll have a different conversation. But let's get there first. Okay, let's get to step B first, all right? Let's get there, then we can start thinking about other things. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of excited for that. Knowing that we're in a bad spot, things aren't going well, but at least you had a change. You know, I sent the tweet, I think I sent it last week, before the Eagles game. And I said, oh, no, Pat, I sent it this week. I sent it right after the Eagles game. And I said, without a doubt, there is a change coming for the Cleveland Browns. And people thought, getting rid of Ken Dorsey, we're going to keep going. I think it was right after the game on Sunday. My great gif about Devontae Adams all of a sudden just being fine. Go to Sunday night. That would have been the 13th. So you got to scroll back. I tweet a lot.
That's good tweets at Matt Fontana 83.
God
is it? I believe.
bless it right. Pat, what's your Twitter?
I'm not too active on there. P. McGuire 18, I believe.
Follow him there.
Let's see.
A lot of guard stuff, which I like. Likes Halloween
Guards,
tweet.
baby.
That's it. I sent it the 13th at 3:54 p.m.
Yeah.
Something is going to change this week. No doubt. Dorsey fired. Dorsey to call plays. Bench Watson, I doubt, but something's going to happen. It was Amari Cooper. And again, I'm going to send this tweet out. It's not that I'm taking a victory lap. It's that change was necessary. The Amari Cooper move, I think, signals the change. That we're done with this spread offense. That we're done with Ken Dorsey. They probably would have been better off just firing Dorsey and keeping Amari Cooper and trying to run the right routes or go back to this offense you want to run. But you had a third-round pick dangling in your face, and you make the move. There's your change. There's your signaling. This way is not the way anymore. And I might be putting too much on this. Pat, they could go out there and he could still throw it 37 times, and you got 5 wide receivers of it being Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash and all that stuff, right? Don't want to see that. But I'm excited. I'm very intrigued to see if Sunday is the flip.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be? Like, any change at this point is welcome change for this franchise. I think the weirdest part was that why did we make that Alex Van Pelt change in the offseason, to bring in Ken Dorsey just to do this? I understand you didn't think it was going to go this way, but if it was, square peg into a round hole and it's just not going to work, you kind of knew that coming into the season. I don't really understand why they would have made that offseason change, but you can't continue to try to force it like that, so you have to make some sort of change. And to get a third-round pick as opposed to firing, Ken Dorsey 7 games, 6 games in, whatever it is, I think you take the third-round pick and you just live with whatever happens next, because firing a coach and then firing another coach and then firing another coach,
well, that's
brings the Browns MO.
That's okay. So again, let's play this out for a second before we get to the grid. I know we're way late, but let's take a quick path down this path. Okay, let's say that Amari Cooper was the change. And again, I'm not making this out to be Amari Cooper was the bad guy or he wasn't trying here, but let's just say here is your shift. Here is your mentality shift. We're done with the spread. We're going to go back to running the football, big guys on the field. And then it works.
Oh
your
boy,
next
if
step
it works,
is to fire
man.
Ken Dorsey. You know, right. You look at it and go, Ken Dorsey didn't work or wasn't working. Now, it doesn't work. You're in the same spot you're in. So what? So what? Here's your shift, though. Here's your shift. We're done with this. We tried it. Give credit where credit is due. They tried it. They tried to acquiesce to Deshaun Watson. Didn't work. Now, you're sitting down with Deshaun Watson and go, you're playing our brand of football now. We tried it your way. Okay, we gave you everything we wanted to do. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing. This is, dude, if you want to survive for the rest of your career, if you want to continue to make it, if you want any chance to not be forever thought of as the worst contract in NFL history, we're going to do it this way now. You're going to run. I don't know. You know, it's like he's saying, I'm not a running back. Well, maybe that's going to change. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. And it's behind a depleted offensive line, which I understand. And you're going to need somebody to make plays, and it's also a little predicated on your defense playing the well. But again, I look at the Eagles game. I don't think the defense played all that bad. I really didn't. There were gaffes, there were moments, but you're fine. If you do this, number one, clean up the GD penalties. For the love of God, clean up the penalties. Then you do that, you establish your run, you get Nick Chubb back healthy, and you play it the way Kevin Stefanski wants to play it. There's a world that works for Deshaun Watson. And another little caveat to that, let's fall down this rabbit hole for a second, if you will, there, Pat. It's working, but Watson's not. Then you go to Jameis Winston.
Have to.
Then you go to
How
Jameis
could you
Winston.
not?
You've got to try. Here's where I think we're at.
Do you think that's a Jimmy thing? It's got to be.
Oh, 1,000%. We all know why. We all know why. And again, that's why I'm not mad at Kevin Stefanski. You know why. We all know why Deshaun Watson's not playing. Why is that even a question? People know why he's playing. Whatever. Here's what you're doing. You're solving a Rubik's Cube. You ever see those kids?
Oh, dude.
They close their eye. You ever see them put the paper in front of them? Done. 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 World record, 12 seconds. It blows my mind. Anyway.
I'm still stuck on Bop It.
I loved Bop It. Yeah, you're like twisted. You're like, no, damn it.
Bop it.
No, damn it.
Couldn't do it.
That's a good one. I loved Perfection when I was a kid. Did you ever play that? Where it would explode if you didn't get all the ones done?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
You had, like, it was like, I don't know, 25 or 30, and you had, like, all different shapes.
The
and
little
if you
tiles
didn't
or whatever?
Yeah, and it would all explode.
That was a good one.
That
classic.
Write that down for a bracket. Best board
Yeah,
game.
man.
I think we did that one. Have we not? I've done it 1,000 times before, but I think we might have done that here.
That's a tough one because
Battleship is goated. Clue is goated.
Clue is goated. I'll tell you what, though, because everyone has, if you make a bracket of it, everyone's going to be like, oh, the Cinderella, some random
Life or Sorry or
Settlers
something
of
like
Catan,
that.
I mean,
Settlers
everyone's.
of Catan. We did do it because I think
Did
Settlers
you?
of Catan came up. You're right. We did do it.
Everyone has a different opinion on it.
No, and I love playing Monopoly, but you never see yourself to the end of Monopoly because it just takes forever.
Yep.
Trying to get my son into chess. He's only 3.
Okay.
But so most nights, and we completed a version from the Browns side, we sit there and we don't like turning the TV on for the kids. We don't like just being like, here, rot, veg away, right?
Yeah.
We will sometimes, but we're like trying to okay, we need to start getting board games going.
Yeah.
And it's like chess. I'm not asking him to become Magnus Carlsen at this point, but it's just like, oh, hey, move this here, move that. My nephew plays chess. I played chess. I was in chess club. I was that nerd. I was in chess club when I was growing up. So I know how to play, so I think I kind of want to get him into that.
Yeah,
What do we
I love
start
that.
talking about else? Oh, Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
Here's where you're at with the Browns. That's why people either love or hate this show, man. You're talking about the Browns, and I'm talking about my son playing chess. Here we are. You're in this Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
You got to try all combinations. You have got to try Watson's way with Amari Cooper, with Ken Dorsey. Meh. Let's try it our way with Deshaun Watson, without Amari. Okay, meh. Okay, we're going to try it now with Jameis Winston. We'll try it this way. All you're trying to do at this point is find combinations for it to work. The issue is, you're doing this on week's notice with a couple of days, and you got a game on Sunday that's borderline must win, right? Welcome to it. Welcome to it. At this point, it's just about the Browns trying all these combinations. And it might not save you for this season. Probably won't. But it'll help set you up for the future. It'll help set you up if this is truly what it is. And I still think, unfortunately, right or wrong, the Browns are at a point that they still don't have their answer on Deshaun Watson. You might have your answer. I might have my answer. I'm not the one cutting $1 million checks over here. They don't have their full answer on Deshaun Watson yet. That's their only hope. That's their only hope. All right, speaking of only hope, let's get to it, Pat. Immaculate Grid.
Here we are.
Here we go. All right.
Let's get some music on.
There we go. All right, love
go.
it. All right, so here we go. 9 minutes. Today's an important day. We have aced it all week. We had to use the Wordle yesterday, though. Had to use the Wordle yesterday. Pat has an immaculate record on the immaculate grid, though. It's very good. Go.
Immaculate. Easy one. First one that I thought of actually was Saints Chargers. Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles works. Wait. He also works Chargers Chiefs, does he not?
Chargers Chiefs.
Was not Darren Sproles on the Chiefs? I think he was. Hold off. Let's just do the 1,000-yard receivers because that's nice and easy. All right, number 1, R.I.P. Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah. There's a Y in there somewhere.
There it is.
Demaryius Thomas.
I don't know. Did DeAndre Hopkins? I don't think he's had it there.
Not there.
Who's a great Titans receiver? Am I missing this?
Who are the guys who played against the Rams in that Super Bowl?
Like Steve McNair.
Yeah, that era.
That's a good one. Oh, God. Oh, God.
We could do Keenan Allen right here.
Yeah, just go Keenan Allen. And he works because he only ever played. Well, now, not only ever played there, but the Bears aren't up there. God, yeah, Titans 1,000-yard receiver.
D-Hop definitely didn't do it there.
I don't think he's done it there. Who was Ryan Tannehill throwing to? Because it was all Derrick Henry.
Right.
For that era. Dude, we might have to come back to that one. You might be right. All right, let's go back. So maybe I'm misremembering Sproles with the Chiefs. I don't think I am.
I remember him on the Chiefs.
Okay. All right, so then just put him bolts. Yeah, put him there. And then Chargers Chiefs. Oh my God, I feel like there's one hitting us.
Chargers Chiefs.
All right, we're forcing. We can come back to it. All right.
Yep.
What's Saints Broncos? And I know they're playing tonight. So like Sean Payton comes to mind, but obviously he doesn't count for that. I feel like there's a quarterback there that I'm missing. Not Tebow. Huh.
Saints Titans should jump out too.
I think we're already overthinking it, which is not a good spot to start. Oh, all right. Go Chiefs Broncos is Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton. That's a pull right there, huh?
Love that.
Yep.
Nice.
Kyle Orton. Chiefs Titans. I wanted to say Chad Henne, but I don't know if he was in Tennessee or not. I don't remember if he went to Tennessee or not.
Old friend Charlie Whitehurst right here, maybe?
I don't know if he played in Kansas City, though. I know he played in Tennessee in the Chargers, which we don't need that one. I thought about him earlier. I did. I also thought Tennessee Chiefs Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Did he go to Tennessee?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay. So kind of in the... All right, quarterbacks. Fitzpatrick. I don't think fits in any of those. Does he fit there? Does he fit Titans Saints?
Titans Saints.
I don't think so. It's not speaking to me.
No.
All right, Colt McCoy. No, really. Josh McCown. Don't think so. Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor's probably the number one down there for the Bolts and the Saints.
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't think he played in
Teddy
Kansas City either.
Okay. I was thinking like Jamal Charles down here or somebody like...
I thought about that too. Like they had so many running backs that I feel like go through there. Geno Smith, I always forget, played for the Chargers. But he was New York
to the Chargers.
Chargers. I don't think he ever played for the Saints, right?
I don't think so.
Did Tyrod ever play in Tennessee? Man, I don't think so. Mark Ingram.
Bridgewater.
Never went to Denver. Did Philip Lindsay? Does that work? Denver Saints?
That sounds right, actually.
You think so?
Philip Lindsay.
I thought about it. I know he went to Houston. He never recreated what he did in Denver.
No.
But I
That was
forget
crazy.
for some reason. Maybe Denver. Ted Ginn doesn't work for any of
Teddy.
these.
Can't even get a Titans 1,000-yard receiver.
I know that's the other problem in this whole thing.
Who was
too.
Steve McNair throwing to? Dyson? No.
Kevin Dyson? Yeah, you know what?
I feel like they had a tight end too.
Old
like-
Frank Wycheck was their tight end. That was the
Yeah.
Music City Miracle, but I don't know if he ever had 1,000 yards. It's a lot for a tight end.
Yeah.
I know you want to rip Dyson because if we don't get that,
right.
we're not in a good spot right now. Woo!
So it has to be.
It has
This
to be
couldn't
with that
This couldn't
team.
be D-Hop. Damn.
Yeah, it has to be with that team.
Yeah.
With that team.
Interesting. I didn't realize.
Did
that.
Calvin Ridley get it? Oh, he just got there.
Yeah. No, he
Are
definitely
you
hasn't.
sure D Hop didn't get it while he was there?
With the
no.
Titans?
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't think so either.
We could pull it though. We don't. I mean, what? Kevin Dyson's our better guess.
Yeah. Who were
Let's
all?
pull, let's pull D-Hop. I think we don't have to do it right now, but
Yeah, we can hold off, but yeah, it's damn. All right,
this gives me running backs. This gives me small running backs. vibes.
That's like old friend Deontay Foreman was in Tennessee, but I don't think he ever went to Kansas City.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like Priest Holmes, like
No, I like where your head's at, but no.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
Who are some of those other guys? You know.
Yeah.
Didn't what's that guy's name? D'Angelo Williams. Didn't he play for these two? Running back.
I kind of like it. You might be right.
D'Angelo.
Yeah.
How do we even?
No, I think it's D.E.
D'Angelo.
D.E. Angelo Williams.
All right. How we feeling?
Sure.
Man. Well, I want to try some of these other ones too.
All right, go ahead.
D-Hop
or Dyson.
Dyson. Let's do Dyson. Andre Dyson? Kevin Dyson. Man.
Scroll down. See what we got.
Scroll
I
down,
can't
what
have
we got
man
here.
that smoked us this week. You gotta hit give up. Smoked us. Scrolling down.
Jamal Charles.
AJ
Shit.
Brown.
Oh man.
Chase Daniel. That not Chad Henne. It was Chase Daniel.
Yeah. That's a copy
Emmanuel
paste of
Sanders.
Chad Henne, so.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders, man.
L'Jarius Sneed just got traded.
AP, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see Sneed got traded.
Yeah. Well, that's
Where's he going to?
No, I'm saying he got traded just this
Oh,
year
yeah,
from
yeah,
Kansas City to Tennessee. I forgot.
I thought you said he got traded
That's
again.
weak.
Let me see
Weak from
some
us.
of these.
You got to scroll up and then like hit the individual
here we go,
ones.
yep.
Yeah.
Man. 15. That's not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah.
Click on that real quick.
This one. D-Hop.
Did he?
He did. Damn. 1,057.
Go to some of the older ones.
AJ.
Derek
Jelani
Mason.
Walker.
It wasn't Kevin Dyson. It was Derek Mason. Shit.
Nate Washington.
Yeah, I would not have gotten that ever.
Wait, let's see.
Wow. Well, that's a tough one for
How
us.
about that?
Don't know what to tell you.
Drew
That is-
Hill?
Yeah, I don't even. Good for Drew. Never would have gotten that ever in a million years. All
Oh,
right,
we
it is-
forgot Bill Groman from
How could
1960.
how could we forget? Yeah, that's just
Matt.
weak on your part. That's just
Bruh.
weak on your part. I don't know
Bruh.
what to tell you. All right. I would tell you we could skip timeout, but there's a litany of movies and TV
can
shows.
blitz
I
them.
will leave it up to you. Blitz it. Let's go. Quick. Timeout. Sorry. Well, I don't know if you're going to hit the intro or not. Let's go.
There we go,
Here we
yep.
go. Quick. 2021 Browns fall to the Cardinals 37-14. Kyler Murray threw 4 touchdowns. That was the game Baker Mayfield hurt his shoulder in 2021 against the Cardinals. Here we are. Also, a very important day. We were talking about beverages earlier. McDonald's announced they were bringing back Orange High C this day, 2021.
I got a
Why
quick
it
one.
ever left, I have no idea.
Quick one about that. One of my good buddies, Paul Frischner from Xavier, when I went to college with, he had a day where he had a year where he was tweeting at McDonald's every single day. And this is like 2016. He said, McDonald's, please bring back Orange High C. McDonald's, please bring it back. Every single day until they did. And it was a great day.
That was a great day.
Everyone was cheering for him. Everyone's favorite guy was Paul Frischner down there in Xavier. So
That
big shout
was
out.
one. Honestly,
Big shout out.
goat breakfast, 2 Egg McMuffins, a hash brown, and Orange High C, especially when you had a long night the night before.
I'll tell you what, we still got time to go. Shoot. I'll
What?
go over there right now.
Oh, I know. What
I'll go
time
over
they
there.
stop serving breakfast?
I don't even know. 10:30, 11?
No,
something
that
like
makes me think Big Daddy, where he goes, we're 4 seconds late. He goes, no, you're 30 minutes and 4 seconds late. We stopped serving breakfast at 10:30. He goes, horse. Kid starts crying. What are you, my therapist? Take a walk. This day, 2017. Oh,
boy.
Cavs season opener.
Oh,
Gordon Hayward. Ugh.
That was nuts.
Ugh. I hate that.
Cavs legends Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade on
Dude,
that
what
floor.
a team that was. LeBron still somehow drug them to
Yeah,
it.
man.
Not them, but that team.
Kevin Ware, Paul George, Gordon Hayward. Which one? What's worse?
Kevin Ware is the worst of them all.
I think so too. Paul George, because it wasn't like a high-profile game, was pretty brutal.
No, it was, but Kevin Ware's was. But again, Gordon
And
Hayward's
on the stage of it too.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward's was pretty bad too, but that was not good. This day, 2016, Game 3 ALCS. Indians beat the Blue Jays 4-2, but it was a no help from Trevor Bauer. That was the game.
Yeah.
He's bleeding from his fingers because of the drone. He's sitting out there. They're like, he's trying to stay in the game. Literally, blood dripping off his fingers, getting on the baseball. And they go, you got to go sit down, man. But you did get the win that day, 2016, 4-2. This day, 1995, the Indians won their first pennant since 1954. They beat the Mariners 4-0 in Game 6 of the ALCS to advance to the World Series.
We're a hell of a Mariners team too.
Oh, that Mariners team was
unbelievable.
stacked.
Yep. Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson.
I was a big Edgar Martinez fan.
Yeah.
Big Edgar Martinez fan growing up. I feel like we're going to be in the World Series in the next 5 years. Again, it might be now. It'd be love to be now. I feel like we're going to get back there again.
We'll get to it real quick, but bonus time with Bruce Drennan. They were talking about it yesterday. Who's more likely to get to a championship? Cavs guards. Who you got?
Guards.
It's guards.
I really
It has
do
to be
guards. I
That's
think
the
it's the
correct
guards.
answer.
I think the answer is the guards.
Leadership.
We talk about postponements in baseball. How about due to an earthquake? Game 3 of the World Series this day, 1989, was postponed due to an earthquake. It was A's Braves in Oakland. Minutes before the game, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit the Bay Area. The series wouldn't resume for another 11 days after that. That's
crazy.
This day, 1931, Al Capone sentenced to prison. What did they pop him for?
Isn't it like tax evasion or
Tax
something?
evasion. 11 years in prison for all the stuff that he did. The only thing they got him on was tax
Yeah,
evasion.
he didn't put his blinker on when he was turning. or whatever.
Yeah, right. You're done.
okay.
You're done.
Okay.
1885, baseball set their player salaries at one of two levels: $1,000 or $2,000 for the season. In 1885. Very happy birthday goes out to former Cavalier general manager and player Danny Ferry. One of the smoothest swings golf has ever seen. Ernie Els. My dad just brought John Rocker up to me the other day. That's psycho that he is. But happy birthday to him. John Rocker, not my dad. Miles Straw celebrating a birthday today. Rita Hayworth, Mike Judge, Evel Knievel, the late, great Mr. Norm Macdonald celebrating a birthday today. And one of the best ever dude, Eminem, celebrating a birthday today. What's your favorite Eminem song?
Oh, geez,
Cleaning out my
man.
closet is the answer.
Really?
That's
Okay.
dude. That's I don't all the new stuff. The Marshall Mathers LP.
Sure.
That's where it's at.
You want to get sad with it? Mockingbird, I
That's
think
a
is
good
actually
one. That's a damn good one.
It's just a
That's
quality
damn
song.
good one.
I don't
That
know
it is.
what to tell you.
All right, I said I had a lot for you to go in movies and TV. We got to fly. All right, we go back to a film this day, 2014. This is a war historic thrilling movie. Ensemble cast.
2014?
2014. All has to do with tanks. Tanks.
I don't know.
Brad Pitt. Shia LaBeouf.
Inglourious Bastards?
No, close. 07 for that, but close.
Okay.
Fury. You ever seen the movie Fury? Watch it. It's a pretty good one.
Okay.
All right, kids. 1998. Disney.
Okay. I thought this was going to be Kids Close Your Ears.
No. Kids film. 1998. Disney. A young lady finds out her true history.
Little Mermaid?
No.
Her true history.
Her true history. And she goes to a place with her grandmother to learn more about it. It's about this time of the year. What's coming up?
Oh, okay. So Halloween.
It's in Halloween Town. I don't know if you're going to get Halloween Town. All right, this day, two movies same day, 1997. First up, slasher film about a group of kids. Movie starts with a car accident.
Jeez.
Horror film. Multiple
idea.
sequels. Ryan Phillippe, Freddie Prinze Jr. I think Michelle they were in multiple movies because they were married. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Not bad. Not great, but it is what it is.
Okay.
All right, next up, this day, 1997. This film features two amazing actors in this one, being Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. And one of them, I don't want to give it away. All right, when you say there's two things on your shoulder, usually they're what? One's what and one's what else?
An angel and a devil.
Okay, the devil. Sometimes we do this on the show where I'm going to play a role, and I play what?
It's like Devil's Advocate.
That's correct.
There we go.
Devil's Advocate. I'll give you that one. And I don't know if you get this one, mostly because we have to fly. But this day, 1968. A very famous movie with one of the longest and one of the most famous car chase scenes in history with Steve McQueen. And in fact, the OG 1968 Mustang that he drove in this film is the most valuable Mustang ever at over $3.5 million. Have you heard of the movie Bullet?
Bullet, no.
Go watch the car chase scene. It's a good one. Go watch the car chase scene. But there's your movies and all that you need for today. All right, Pat, let's go. Guards! All right, we got to line this up for today. I've been missing on my parlays. I told you. Solid for Jose Ramirez and Andres Jimenez against Clark Schmidt. Okay?
With an E. Clark with an E.
Clark with an E. All right. We are plus 100. Line has moved. We were plus 105 earlier. Same game parlay. I'm going Andres Jimenez hit. I just have to. Who else? Jose's got to come out of this, right?
I think so.
Okay. Strikeouts from Matthew Boyd. Hang on. Let me get you your preview for this. So Boyd obviously has not faced the Yankees this year. They really like run in the first game. Or the first inning, excuse me. Yes,
right.
Non-nerfy, they like it. All right, Boyd coming into this one. Last three starts, 5, 5, and 6 strikeouts. Each of his 2 starts against Detroit, he had 5 strikeouts in it. Schmidt comes in 4, 5, and 7. Do you like 3 strikeouts for each of those guys? 4? If I get 4 strikeouts from Matthew Boyd, that already boosts me up to plus 375.
That feels like a high number to me. 4 strikeouts?
Yeah. Especially if they have to pull him early.
Yeah.
Do you like 3 more?
I like 3 better for sure.
All right, please.
Yankees strike out a ton.
All right, that gets me to 240. Then I like the under for tonight, but under 8.5. Do you like that?
Yeah, I like under 8.5.
8 cashes me.
Yeah. I mean, what? So 2 days ago, they barely got to, 8 runs?
Yeah.
6-2?
Yeah.
Barely got there. And that's in New York. I think it's going to be way colder here, way windier,
right.
closer to the lake. Yeah.
All right, Jimenez hit, Ramirez hit, Boyd 3 strikeouts, under 8.5. $2 wins me 17.
Yeah.
In for that? Done.
In it.
In. Here we go. All right, final thing for us. Thursday night football. We come on in, a revenge game for one Sean Payton and crew. As they are in New Orleans as a 3-point favorite on the road with Bo Nix and crew. Quick trends on this one. Sorry, I put in week 6.
That's what we were hoping for, was Bo Nix versus Spencer Rattler.
That's exactly what we
That's
all
what we were
wanted
looking
to see.
for. No Pat Surtain either for the Broncos. That's a big loss. But no Chris Olave, no Rashid Shaheed for the Saints.
No, yeah, he's out. Yeah, right, exactly.
No Derek
Carr.
Well, he's doubtful, I guess we should say.
Trends, notes, stats, week 7. Sorry, I'm trying to get the Action Network. Oh no, they haven't put out their preview.
That's kind of a
hard...
hard...
no, I got it. I'm right here. Okay, you ready?
It's kind of a hard one though, because like so many of these dudes are out, you know.
I know. Okay, so here you go. Thursday night home teams since 2019 are just 40-53 against the spread.
Wow.
Okay, since the beginning of last season, the overs on Thursday night football are actually cashing at 61% by going over by an average of 5.8 points. This is a 37 over-under. Kind of like that. Rookie Bo Nix is getting a start for the Broncos on the road on Thursday Night Football. Since 2006, rookie quarterbacks on Thursday Night Football are just 14-24 straight up. But over the last 2 seasons, they are 3-2. And when rookie quarterbacks are on the road for Thursday Night Football, they are just 7-19 straight up since 2006. He is 3-0, though, against the spread on the road, covering by an average of 11.5 points on the road for Bo Nix and crew. Sean Payton's 6th night game with the Broncos. In his prior ones, he is 2-3 straight up and just 1-4 against the spread. So when he's in Denver, under the lights, it's not good. Dennis Allen, though, is even worse at primetime games. In his career as the Saints head coach, he is just 2-9 straight up and 2-7-2 against the spread, coaching on night games, including a abysmal 1-6 with the Saints. On short rest in his career, Dennis Allen is 1-10 straight up, including 0-4 at home. He is ass. He's so bad.
He's the worst. Hate him so much.
I know. He's so bad.
This is a matchup of 2 coaches who I probably couldn't like less. They hit the floor. Sean Payton, I would be interested to know what G-Dub's opinion of him is.
Yeah.
Greg Williams.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Pat, you got to make the pick here for Ryan, too. Hang on. Let me see if I can get you anything else to get. This game stinks. This game is stinky.
That Saints defense
I like
is very
the
hurt,
over.
too.
I kind of like the over a little bit.
I'll tell you what I like in this game too, Matt, is a defensive touchdown. I think I said that last week, but Spencer Rattler, we saw him in college. He will just heave the ball up. Derek Carr was doing that against the Chiefs. We'll see it against the Broncos tonight. I know Pat Surtain's going to be out, but Broncos still a pretty quality defense. I like 2 rookie quarterbacks. Bo Nix, he'll throw it up into danger. Defensive touchdown.
All right, I like the overs my play, but we got to make our pick. I'm just going to go the Saints +3. In a game like this, you're going to give me the 3. I think actually they have better skill players. Just give it to Alvin Kamara all day. You know, I know Olave's not going to be out there, which could be a huge impact. I don't like it at all. Saints are at home. I guess I'll go with the Saints +3. Pat?
I don't like either of them, but that actually was a good point you made about Alvin Kamara. I think I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah. All right.
So their Broncos, what was their number?
-3.
-3. I think I'll take the Broncos -3.
Broncos, I'll take the Saints. Guard, get it done tonight. Let's go. We got to get it. Boyd on the hill. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, 3 o'clock today, Lakewood Truck Park. We'll see you there for our pregame show, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. For Pat McGuire, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.